Well, hello and good morning, and welcome to Touche TV Live. Hey, I'm your host, Tony Hill. Thank you so much for joining this morning. And I hope you guys are having a nice day today, this beautiful Sunday morning here in lovely Las Vegas. It's not that hot now, but it's really good. I just want to remind you to like, subscribe, and share. And also know that we have a donation section so that you can help us actually reach all over the world. Thank you so much for all your donations and all the things that you have did to support the show thus far. One special shout out to EOS Fitness, which is actually one of the places where, many places actually, where Touche is being supported. Again, Touche is tough, outrageously unique, challenging, highly motivated exercise. It is truly you. It's about you because life is all of those things and a whole lot more. I want to actually also talk to you about something that's really near and dear to my heart. We're going to actually cover a couple of really awesome topics today. But most importantly, I want you to understand how important it is to actually look at your health and how you really handle your mindset throughout your day. Wake up to a new day. Never ever bring yesterday into today. Remember that it is a gift. That's why it's called the present. Again, I want you to like, subscribe, share. Okay. Please support Touche TV Live, our merchandise, Touche TV, which is a personal coach in your pocket, where you can actually see a lot of content with me teaching and educating you about your body and how to move forward with it. Now, without further ado, I do want to share something that's really new and up and coming. Myself, along with Angie E., which you guys will hear a lot about her. She is absolutely an amazing person. She is the founder of DKB. DKB is dance kickboxing. It literally is professional dance. She's a professional dancer, and also she has applied practical martial arts techniques to dance kickboxing. It's really an amazing thing. Plus, she's a Latina, so guys, oh my God, there has not been a Latin face, female, that I know of that's going to blow this thing called fitness out of the water, because she truly, in about approximately 2.5 years, she's already in approximately 14 countries. And mind you, she has over 300 DKB instructors. Special shout out to all the instructors, all the Latin community that is supporting her. Please support her. It matters a lot because it's like I compare her to the new Jane Fonda. She's actually been a trailblazer in women's empowerment. As I know, Latin community, especially females, don't get a whole lot of respect. I don't think they get a lot of respect anywhere, in any culture. But in this case, she is strong, she is powerful, she's motivated, she's a motivator. And I tell you what we're going to do next year, 2024. Her and I, we're going to get together and we're going to do a major convention. Now, this convention is going to be really incredible. This convention, we got the confirmation a few days ago. The convention will be held in beautiful Miami Airport Convention Center. It's a part of the Hilton chain. It's amazing, as you can see. It looks like this. It's going to be looking like this internally, but it is a beautiful space, and we're going to fill that with it with shows. I think we're going to have a dance competition. We're going to have merchandise. We're going to have new fitness techniques. We're going to have so much stuff in this place. It's going to be so beautiful. My thing is, I want to bring back the old, the idea convention concept where you had a lot of fun. You met a lot of people from all over the world, and it's going to be great. We're looking at August in Miami. We have the location. So if you're interested, please, if you're interested in sponsorship or you want to get a booth, you can contact me at Touche heartwarming.exercise@gmail.com and get your packet, your information. We'll be releasing a deck here pretty soon so that we can show you actually what's going to be a part of that. Fitness enthusiasts from all over the world, we want to encourage you to come out, because not only are you going to get education, not only are you going to have a lot of fun, but you're going to see fitness in a whole new light. Remember, fitness is always evolving, so we want to evolve with it. And this is our first fitness convention held in beautiful Miami, Florida. So without further ado, what we're going to talk about today, hey, check this out. The ultimate guide to listening to your body and optimal time to eat. Well, these are really important things, right? Important things that we need to talk about, right? So I'm gonna tap into my notes here, and I'm gonna give you some. We're gonna segue into the ultimate guide to listening to your body and the optimal time to eat. First, before I get to the listening to your body, let's talk about an optimal time to eat. When is an optimal time to eat? Let me tell you, the moment you wake up. The moment you wake up, that is the most important time to eat. Because breakfast, if you take the words and separate it, it means break, fast. It's very important that after you've slept for 5, 6, 7, 8 hours, that the body needs to be rejuvenated, that the body needs to wake up. Internally, we're talking, not externally, because externally, when your eyes are up, you can see. But internally, you have the organs in your body that literally are ready for nutrients, ready to actually get that day started, get that day going, fired up, get ready to go. That breakfast, that first meal is the optimal time to eat the first meal. They say the first meal, eat like a king or a queen, then prince, princess, then poor or pauper, right? That's how they kind of look at it. Like, as you go out your day, throughout your day, at the end of the day, you want to eat like you're impoverished. Why? Because your body literally is ready to rest. And then whatever is there, you don't need to be able to be digesting or processing a lot of food, because the body is preparing to sleep. Hence, this is why when people have big meals at night, because they didn't eat early in the day, what happens? As soon as you put that food in, you go to sleep, right? Because the body says, this is too much food. We really got to shut this down. And so that's why you get tired and you go to sleep after a meal. To the body, we're talking about. So when we're talking about optimal time to eat, I mean, I could talk about pre-training, post-training, which is very important. But the most optimal time that I can really think about in my head, literally, is your first meal. Now, if you're going to exercise, if you exercise more than 3 times a week, or if you exercise at all, you want to know, what do you eat before and what do you eat at the end? This is incredibly important, because before, you have to prepare the body for the work. The end is how you recover from the work. It's incredibly important. It is. I can't even emphasize this enough. Sometimes people, they say to me, Tony, oh my God, I can't give up this. Well, this is why you're struggling, because you can't give it up. This is why you're struggling. You've got to listen to your body. You've got to listen to that body. How do you listen? That's not that the body has ears, but if you look in the mirror, that's your connection. Can you get lean? Yeah. Can you get healthy? Yes. Just because you're older doesn't mean age truly is just a number. You've got to really, 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 really believe that, people. Don't settle. Don't settle for just exercise. Exercise is approximately, I would say, 5 to 10%. Why is it so low? Because exercise is work. If you haven't prepared the body for the work, then how is the body going to give you results? You have to prepare, and you have to allow the body proper time to heal. Now, resting is just as important. Resting is just as important because resting also helps you heal. So you've got the optimal time to eat, backtracking a little bit, is your first meal. I cannot emphasize that. Now, the moment you wake up, this is what I'm talking. The moment you wake up, the moment you wake up, the moment you wake up, not 10 or 11 or 12 o'clock in the afternoon, because you're all, that means you're not getting good sleep, which means that no matter what you do, the body can't recover. The body can't recover if there's no rest. And that's a fact. So you got to force yourself to change your life, change your health, change your life, change your health. This is actually the mantra that I talk about. Change your life, change your health, change your life, change your health. You can't say it enough. Change your life, change your health. Touche. Tough. Life is tough. Outrageous. It's crazy sometimes. Unique. Yes, because each one of us is different. Challenging. It is very challenging. Highly motivated, which is a hyphenated word, because you have to motivate yourself. And exercise simply means moving. Tough, outrageously unique, challenging, highly motivated exercise. That's touche. Touche is you. Touche is you because we all have a different fingerprint. And can you imagine billions of people in the world and not anyone has the same fingerprint? If you don't believe in God, if you look at that statistic, that is absolutely amazing. Man in his finite knowledge cannot comprehend how incredibly awesome it is. Touche is just like that. It's not a system. It's literally life itself. It changes. It's like water. You don't know what to expect in the class. You don't know how to adapt to the class. You don't know what you're getting from the class that day. And that's why so many people come and they have anxiety. It's just like eating your food. It's like you get up in the morning, you don't know what you eat. Sometimes people eat the same thing all the time. Okay, that's good. But touche, right? So optimal time to eat. Remember, I'm starting with that first. Simply means practice. I'm just saying, if you get that first meal in, that means you're going to have to wake up early. Change your life, change your health, and then learn how to eat for yourself throughout the day. And learn what exercise works for you. And that's the most important thing. So let's get to the ultimate guide of listening to your body, because this is the other thing that I want to talk about. Listening to your body means to be mindfully aware of how you usually feel when things feel different. Let me say that again because I'm going from my notes. Listening to your body means to be mindfully aware of how you usually feel and when things feel different. But it does not necessarily mean to call a doctor every time. And this is something that we gravitate to, because oftentimes you're going to be the first to know if something's wrong with you. My doctor even told me that, because I used to go physicals every year. It's not to say you don't need a doctor. A doctor actually, what a doctor does, a doctor actually practices medicine, for those who don't know. God actually does the healing. Sometimes we have to follow instructions. If you literally, the doctor could say to you, you need to stop doing this. Well, stop doing it. Well, I can't because, well, okay. Then why are you paying the doctor? Then you go pay a therapist, and then it's just a vicious circle, right? Change is never easy, and I shout this out to a man that I had the honor of working with, John Maxwell, back in the day. It's a long time. And he gave me his first book called Change is Never, I remember that tagline, Change is Never Easy, Yet Growth Demands it. So in order to grow, it demands it. You have to change, right? Now, of course, if the doctor's monitoring you, of course, if you're under doctor's care, that's it. Now, does listening to your body work? Does listening to your body? Well, let's talk about that. Right? Seeing our bodies as a whole, interconnected mentally and physically, that's the whole, makes it easier to recognize the signals of feeling well or that something is truly wrong. See, physically and mentally, it helps us. The problem is we fight both of those. The mind says we big boned it. The physical says I need to lose weight. The mind says I'm too skinny. The physical says I need to gain weight. The mind says I need to have this, but the body is always honest. It's always honest. The body is the final decision. Okay? Listening to your body is the most amazing thing you can ever do for your body. How do you listen to your body and give it what it needs? Well, it's quite simple. Here's some tips I'm going to give you. Keep a journal. When you start your journey, literally, when you start your journey, start writing it down. Because I learned this a long time ago. You know, we talk a lot of stuff, you know. And listen to the word, lot of stuff. How much is that? We have no idea what it is. We don't even know what a lot really means. We really don't. So we use that word, and it literally, it restricts us, because sometimes, man, I got a lot of stuff to do. How much stuff you got to do? So if you're writing a journal, you'll say, you look like you say, man, I got, 2 things to do today? That's about it? Because writing literally makes you aware of what's going on. Before I go any further, please like, share, subscribe, comment. Go to touchefitness.com for all the latest updates in Touche Fitness and locations where Touche is being taught throughout Las Vegas, Nevada for now. It is truly in Europe as well. Special shout out again to EOS Fitness for their co-branding relationship with Touche. Thank you very much for it all. Going back to the text, the next one, first one, keeping your journal. The next is enjoy your food. Enjoy your food, right? Don't be scared. Enjoy your food. Now, when I say enjoy your food, I don't mean like eat stuff that you know is going to ultimately wipe you out, right? Or bring some kind of disease. 80% of good eating trumps 20% of bad eating. If you look at it. You know, because what happens is the awareness of bad eating comes actually more clearer. The message is more clearer when you are literally eating good. The 80%, you can actually feel the reaction from the bad food. So food is never your enemy. It's just knowing, knowing yourself, knowing your body physically and mentally. You see, it's being able to bring physical and mental into one and just stop fighting it. You know what I mean? Stop fighting it and do the right thing. Make time for yourself. You have to make time. The first word is make time. You got to do that. It's not going to just fall in your lap. Some people say, well, I don't have time to do this, and I don't have time to do that. Well, I mean, yeah, you're not going to have time if you say, I don't have time. But so you have to make time for yourself. Another is, meditation. Think about yourself. Take time, quiet, put some nice music on, or, spending time with God. It's just incredibly good, because that connection with the Creator is what can make you whole, right? It's so important. Meditation is not all the time, doing yoga or whatever the situation is. Meditation is just thinking, quiet, and really, really absorb, the things that are around you. Like when I close my eyes right now, I can hear different sounds, and I focus on those. And oftentimes, as you can hear, it's like I heard a plane over my house right now, and it's really cool. It's really cool to actually, hear that. Be aware of how you react to stress. Be aware of that. Be aware of how you react to stress. Just don't react. Just be aware of how you act and change it. Get a hobby. Notice how your body responds to exercise, which is very important. Think about what you need. Moderation is the key. These are some important things to, help you to listen to your body. With those things connected, you actually begin to understand, how the body literally works, how it actually breaks down certain things, and listening to it, learning how to listen and get that first meal in is only the beginning of an amazing journey, for what you want for yourself. And we should always want the best for ourselves. Now, tips for listening to your body. Let's say one more time. Keep a journal, enjoy your food, make time for yourself, meditate, be aware of how you react to stress. Notice how your body responds to exercise. Think about what you need. Most importantly, first and foremost, moderation is key. Moderation is key. All right. So, really, that was really good, the first part. So let's actually go into the second part. But again, I also want to remind you guys of, there's a donation. You go to touchefitness.com, you'll see it. And in that donation box, you'll see it when you go to the website. Anything you give us, anything that it doesn't matter if it's $1, $2, $10, or whatever, will help us further the mission to educate and to show our love, how we want you to get control of your health and your mindset. Okay, so in that, I really want to talk about my next thing that I want to really share is really something near and dear. We all have kids, right? Raising health conscious kids. How do we do that? I'm going to my notes right now. I want you to know, when you're looking at kids, what are they eating today? What are they doing as far as exercise today? What are the activities of our kids today? How do you raise health conscious kids if you're not healthy yourself as a parent? Woo. These are so vitally important to how we deal with the kids actually fighting the same diseases that our parents fought. The best information I can give to everyone, which, this is the second part of what I wanted to talk about today, is raising health conscious kids. You can't raise health conscious kids if you're not healthy yourself. There's no way. You can tell them all you want. I mean, I've got 3, and I know how it is, But let's start with this. And I have here in my notes, picking activities like hiking, biking, long walks, playing catch at the park, hopscotch, or sports like basketball is one to make not health conscious kids so much, but active kids. So don't get it twisted. For example, you could have a kid in a sport, and in that sport, it will raise, things about health, but not necessarily about being healthy. So the kid spends all their time being the greatest athlete in whatever sport. And at the end of that, they nursing oftentimes major injuries. These health problems still come up. So what have you actually done? You've actually it's a facade. Because let me say this, I used to tell parents this, and I tell parents this today. You may have a great athlete, and the people who are training, the trainer and everything that's involved, they're looking at your kid and they're going, oh my God, They're going to go pro, blah, blah, blah. They're going to be professional, this and that. And the sacrifices that that kid has made, oftentimes for the sake of the parents, literally brings about injuries. And what happens is now the parent has to take care of the aftermath, which is the injuries of the child, because raising health conscious kids, when health conscious, if you're healthy, your body can endure challenges. If you're healthy, your body can fight disease. Not to say that being ill doesn't happen. So I'm not going there. I'm not saying that your kid's going to not ever be sick. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that health consciousness means healthy change, which means healthy transformation, which ultimately leads to healthy life, right? We're talking about health. We're not talking about a great athlete, because that doesn't mean you're healthy. That just simply means you're a great athlete. And that means you made the commitment in whatever genre or sport that you're in, which made you incredible. So you've got to actually understand the true nature of what raising health conscious kids are really about. They are looking, their innocent minds start when they enter the world, and they are looking for the parent to teach them the good and the bad. And let me tell you something, parents. You really don't have to open up your mouth at all, because kids are incredibly observant. The problem is if you are not establishing a healthy environment, they go outside and society teaches them what's healthy and what's not healthy. And here comes the bad. So is health consciousness or increasing? Let me give you some statistics from research. This research, actually, I like it because it comes from Texas Health, TexasHealth.org. It's the study. It says, however, new research is showing a growing trend on the opposite end of the spectrum, with more younger people becoming increasingly interested in their health than in generations before. Why is that? Because everybody wants to look good, right? They're becoming more, they want to be healthy, they want to look good, but where does the foundation start? It starts at home. So what happens is, and then this study actually is, they say it's growing. Why? But society, you've left everything up to society. And so look at society. I shouldn't have to even bring that up, because society says it all. There's so health has a lot to do with looks, but sometimes people jump over their health and they get, because now you can do a lot of things now that if you're healthy, you never have a weight problem. If you're healthy, you can always see the muscle. If you're healthy, you can work long hours and still have energy if you're healthy. But people don't believe that. They believe if I exercise, I'm good. No. Health is internal. The exercise is an external visualization of what's going on internally. That's what that's about. So don't get it twisted. What age group is most health conscious? You know what they say? Between 25 and 34 years old. Think about it. The age group that's more health conscious is between 25 and 34. They're the most health conscious. This study went out August 26, 2022. This last year. And the interesting thing is, let me go to this one. This is a medical here. It says, we all like to think, this was in Philadelphia, KYW News Radio. We all like to think we are health conscious, and it's clear that some of us are more concerned than others. When you think at the big picture, what age group would be considered the most conscious? Again, we talked about 25 to 34. Why? Right? Because they're the ones that really focus on longevity. That's why. They want to live longer. You know, what I mean, people are doing stem search, they're doing all kinds of stuff right now, And it's kind of crazy. Um, their testosterone has never been so high on the priority list for men. I guess since mom's apple pie, everybody wants to be young and be healthy, but everything is there in the natural foods, in plant-based. Plant-based is not, again, plant-based is not veganism. Okay, it's a totally different concept. It's like, one of the things that, I guess what we try to do is we try to, I guess, kind of do a lot of studies and a lot of updates on who's more healthy than the other. And I would probably say, I work with materials, right? I'm seeing some amazing stuff happening with it. How I'm just focusing in, even though I'm with them maybe less than an hour, I'm watching their whole lives change. And these 60, 70-year-olds, and they're becoming more health conscious. But is it too late for them? No, because, they live their full life and they want to live more life, but they're doing it the right way. They don't like me all the time, which is cool, but it's a love-hate relationship. And I love it, There's some amazing people. But I've learned so much from them in class. The class is called Ageless, of course. And Ageless is taught at the EOS gym. So if you're out there and you're 50 and over, I mean, sometimes you can even be there and you're 35, because you're on that cusp, right? You can come, and I've heard from many people that it's very difficult. And it isn't, but it is if you are not used to understanding that exercise, although it's 5 to 10% in my eyes, it actually means a lot. It kind of starts your body on getting healthy. Kids have a different perspective. They say sports, in my generation, it was walking. Yeah. But kids now are doing some phenomenal stuff. Now let's talk about, here's a question. Are millennials more health conscious? Well, that's a good question. Here's what I see the difference. They're more willing to spend money on looking good, calling it health conscious, or being health conscious. For example, liposuction. That you may look healthy, but you're not healthy. Oxygen, and sometimes they have these hyperbaric chambers. They have IV that you can take vitamin C and all kinds of stuff like that. They have these different methods of health, massage therapy, things like that. They're willing to spend the money for self-care because times have changed, and when you're looking at that, I guess they created what is called a Gen Z. I guess they call it. I guess that's the new thing going around. Did you know that approximately 72% of what is called Gen Z are really physically and mentally focused on being healthy? It's crazy. I probably attribute it to a lot of things that's going on right now. I just don't want to say on the air, but it's incredibly insane because only 71% of that 72%, which is just a 1% difference between the two, is actually making an effort to eat from home instead of eating out. The diseases that are happening today, starting in I was a kid. Was there anyone out here who's not a kid? We all was kids. But look at what we have deposited into our kids. When you talk about whatever disease, that's why a doctor would say, anyone in your family has this? Well, they say that simply because they are banking that you did not change anything. So if you didn't change anything and you guys ate the same foods, then it's more likely that you'll get the same disease. It might be in a different location, but it's coming unless you change it. And it seems like this Gen Z, boy, they're on top of it. 72%, and 71% of that 72% is actually learning how to eat at home. Do happy babies, or kids become happy adults? Well, shoot, we know that, man. We know the answer to that. Yeah, they do. When they learn how to take care of themselves from their parents, yes, they do. Where do you think all of these mental things come from? It's food. It's what you put in your kid. Unless at birth something has happened, you can't really actually change that if that's between you and God. But most of the diseases that we face are literally diseases we have created through our family lineage. They're not. When people say, well, it's in my genes or DNA. Well, it is, somewhat true, but you can change. Remember I said, change is never easy, yet growth demanding. It's never easy. Let's focus on what is Gen Z, since the most of the population is actually of those kids, conscious kids in Gen Z. What are they actually eating? Gen Z is focused on sustainability, health, and wellness, and is more likely than any previous generation to embrace, here's what they call flexitarian eating. Flexitarian, oh my God, where did that come from? Flexitarian? I never heard that before. You know what it is? This is flexitarian eating through vegan or vegetarian lifestyle. Convenience is another deciding factor when it comes to Gen Z's eating habits. Now, again, here we go. Vegan or vegetarian. Well, so Gen Z, says, even though they're more health conscious, is that the right path? Well, that's one path to many. And can you make veganism a lifestyle? You can make anything a lifestyle, but it does not trump plant-based. Plant-based is better than veganism because plant-based, you know what you're putting in your body, and your body knows what it's getting. Healthy ones. Usually, mostly plant-based foods, or the body is absorbed the cellular structure. Plant-based meaning you're talking about. I just found out that tomatoes was part of a fruit because of the seeds. But if you took a tomato and you cut it open, you'll see chambers in there. Which tomatoes being high in lycopene is very good for your heart. Tomatoes is very good in other areas. But when you talk about plant-based versus veganism, I plant-based trumps veganism every time. We talked about that on a previous show. And we had a lot of feedback on that. And it was good feedback, So I'm going to talk about this, okay? And this is really, I'm going to close with this, and I'm going to close the show with this because I think all of us as parents, anybody out there who has kids, this matters a whole lot. So let's talk about 5 steps. I'm just going to give you 5. There's many, but I'm going to give you just 5, right? 5 steps to raising healthy, conscious kids. 1, share activities as a family. That's very important because what happens is, what do you get? Healthy mind, right? And it helps the kids spiritually as well. So share activities with your family. Incorporating adventures, fun activities, things like that is really the best thing you can do with your kid to create a conscious, health conscious kid. Number 2, get kids interested in sports. Now, To me, that's really cool because you get kids interested in sports. This is what happens, right? When you get them interested in sports, you've got to prepare them first by being healthy. And then the sports is they take a little different attitude, a different approach toward each sport that they're doing, right? Number 3, educate kids about the foods they eat. Educate them, okay? You don't need much education when they're eating cereal. Because you know it's not good. You don't need much education if they're eating a cookie. It depends on how the cookie's made. To me, I like ice cream. So I gotta have ice cream that's non-dairy, blah, blah, blah. I have to really, really pay attention to that because I'm lactose intolerant. So what does that mean to be lactose intolerant? That means that the body has no need for dairy. That's a healthy body. That's a healthy body, literally. So if you're lactose intolerant, you're healthy. Now, if you have adapted to lactose or milk, then that's a problem. Okay, but it can do things. Number 3, educate kids about the food they eat. Okay, so I think I said it again, right? 1, share activities as a family. 2, get kids interested in sports. 3, educate kids about the foods they eat. 4, be flexible regarding food choices. Now, certain foods promote immunity. Certain foods actually help your kids fight certain diseases and things that they may be faced as they get older. And it could reverse some of the things that your family has been literally, if you have cancer in your family, it doesn't mean you're going to have cancer too. You just have to change your approach to health. Okay. And once you do that, you can actually change a generation of disease. But you have to be really, really, because the world is not the same place as before. So again, let's go over the top. Share activities as a family. Get kids interested in sports. Remember also just to make them, prepare them for the sport. Educate your kids about the food they eat. Be flexible regarding food choices. And last but certainly not least, make sure they get yearly physicals. Now, as you grow up, having a physical is really cool. But remember, we go back to listening to your body, right? Trust me. Believe me when I tell you, you're going to know if something's not right. You may not know what that is, and for that reason, you need a physician. But after you see the physician, what are you going to do? Which is the big question that we all ask ourselves. What are we going to do? And I want to say this. Remember, raising children or raising a health-conscious child starts with you. You. Raising a health-conscious kid starts with you. You, adult parents. It starts with you. Children practice what they are taught or have learned from watching. That's true. That's how they learn. That's how they figure it out. So, I hope that this has been very, very instrumental to you. It has been to me to prepare for this part of the show. This show is very near and dear to my heart because I have children. And what I try to do is the most important thing for me is to be an example. To be an example is a very, 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 very difficult because I'm just really thinking very deep when I talk to you about this because as a parent, sometimes we think we're always right. And I think it's of many factors. Our age, we want to tell our kids that they don't know any better. And, we really help them, when we take this approach. So I want to encourage you parents out there, and I want to encourage the kids to, do the right thing. Listen to your body. Remember the optimal time to eat is literally the first when you open your eyes. It is. But also pre-workout and post. What you eat before you train and what you eat after you train. And raising health-conscious kids, parents, I can't say this enough. They're watching everything and they learn. And don't be upset when something happens to your kid. It is truly your responsibility. You can't run from that. So I want to encourage everyone out there that it starts with your mind and your body, not just your mind. Think what you will, but when you get in front of that mirror, you'll see the right thing. And I want to close with this. What you get by achieving your goals is not as important as what you become by achieving your goals. Remember, what you get by achieving your goals is not as important as what you become by achieving your goals. Please remember that. And again, thanks a lot for the sponsors: Touche Fitness, TK Fit, EOS Fitness. Special shout out to Successful Aging, Mike Green, and those who have supported the show, Jeff Rose Botanicals. Thank you guys so much for your time. And with that, I need you to subscribe, share, comment, and I'll see you next week, Sunday at 8 a.m., God willing. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.
Work them arms, work them legs, strong for life.